You know, I spent a lot of time in this very spot over the years. If you watched any of my early deer hunting videos, you saw this spot a lot. I got to see a lot of deer. This is where my tree stand was. It was right over there. But I used to see a lot of deer at this spot. Used to have a lot of deer walk right up on top of me at this spot. But somewhere in the back of my mind, I got it in my head it would be better to move on up to the top of the farm. Seemed like that was where most of the big bucks was being seen. I was seeing mainly does here. I'd see a spike or something like that every now and then. A young buck that might be running with the does. But I spent a lot of time doing a lot of recollection in a tree stand or in a deer blind up here. And got started wondering what was going on up here right now. So I had a little bit of time and decided to get out and just come up here and check things out. Well, I don't see the deer activity now that I did back then. But I'll tell you what I do see. I see a lot of memories. I see a lot of good times. You know, too often we take our time in the woods for granted. And if we're not careful, we lose that time. And that's kind of what happened to me. I was spending a lot of time in the woods. Life got busy and jobs got crazy, and I ended up spending more time at work than I did actually out doing the things that I really enjoy. Now, don't get me wrong, everyone's got to work. Everyone's got to make a living. You got to put food on the table. But when work becomes your life, it might be time to sit back and rethink things. And that's kind of what happened to me. So I'm stepping back a little bit, not putting in near the hours. I'm hearing something coming down the hill, I'm not sure what it is. I decided to not put in near the hours that I was. I'm starting to get older. It's time to get out and enjoy life. And I've got to make some incredible trips this past year, and I've enjoyed the heck out of it. But it's time to get back to the basics. It's time to enjoy what got me started in all this back when I was just a kid. That's kind of what I'm doing today. Just out hiking, reminiscing a little bit, thinking about past deer hunts, thinking about past camps that I spent with buddies. And you know, today I notice I've got several things with me that, you know, buddies who are like-minded, who like the woods, who like, you know, bushcraft and all that, have given me, or have I've got through trades or whatever with them. And, you know, like this walking stick is one of them. This walking stick was given to me by Bluegrass Bushcraft Robert, and I've talked about it in a past video, but a lot of people don't even know what this is. This is an old tobacco stick. And if you lived in Kentucky, and I'm sure it was probably the same way in North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, places like that, and you walk into an old barn, even to this day, the barn may be falling down, but you're likely to see these old tobacco sticks. They're usually split out of hardwood, and they make a great walking stick. And this is something I find myself going to on a regular basis. When I'm out in the woods, I have this with me a lot. I appreciate Robert giving that to me. It makes the woods walks a lot easier when you're stepping over logs, or maybe come across a snake you need to shoot out of your way, or whatever the case may be. There's been a lot of things I have picked up and learned from the bushcraft community over the years. Got a lot of good buddies. I just want to say thanks to all the buddies I have out there that have taught me something or gave me something that made my life easier in the woods. People who's put me on to ideas. So, just what I wanted to say today. It's an awesome day. Temperatures are probably in the mid-50s right now. A little bit of wind. Still see a few leaves hanging here and there. Most of them are on the ground now. Today before opening day of modern firearm season in Kentucky, so figured I better get out while I could without having to worry about getting shot. With any luck, I'll be out in the deer woods this coming week, and hopefully put some meat in the freezer and some food on the table. You know, talking about things that people influence you with. You know, for years, I shot slingshots. When I was a kid, I always had a slingshot with me. And somewhere in the process of growing up, I forgot my love for slingshots. Matter of fact, let me show you something. This is my old slingshot from back when I was a kid. The old pocket rocket. Bands are starting to get dry rotted on this. I've got to try to find a new band, but it's one of my old slingshots. I had these and I made slingshots and all that, but this past spring at the spring meetup we had a new guy show, young guy, probably 21, 22 years old. His name's Harrison D. When he came, he brought one of these simple shot slingshots. He was pretty good with it, I gotta say. And I picked it up and shot it a couple of times, and man, it just made me remember how much I loved shooting slingshots as a kid. And I was pretty impressed with that simple shot slingshot, so I decided back in the summer I was going to order me one, and I did. And you know, this is simplistic. It's not, the pocket rocket seems like a modern day, almost like a modern day firearm, or like it'd be like the difference between a recurve bow and a compound bow. But in all honesty, this simple shot shoots harder with more velocity than that pocket rocket ever did. So, young guys are influencing the old guys here. But I know one thing. It's hard to find anything much more satisfying than pulling a slingshot back, finding something to shoot at, just shooting. I don't really have a particular target out there I'm trying to shoot for. I'm just picking trees and stumps and that kind of stuff. But these things are a lot of fun. And if you ever shot a slingshot and you haven't shot one in a while, I challenge you to pick your one up, get back out there, try it again. It's a ton of fun and relaxing as all get out. About as simple as you get. About as simple as you get. You get good enough, you can even bring home maybe a squirrel or a rabbit with one of these things. Pretty cool. Nothing like an old slingshot. Or a new one, as far as that goes. I'm using clay ball ammo, which is biodegradable, and so I'm not leaving anything in the woods. that wouldn't appear naturally anyway. Ton of fun. Pull out the old pocket rocket and see if I can do anything with it. Hopefully the bands don't break in the process of doing this. That could hurt. Definitely tell you don't have the velocity with these surgical rubber bands that you do with that black rubber bands on the pocket or on the Simple Shot there. The pocket rocket's still fun to shoot though. But this is definitely a good item to add to your Bushcraft kit bag. Nothing like a good sharp knife. Speaking of things that I've got from buddies or learned from buddies, got this Rat Model 3 from my good friend Adam, Coyote 238. Love that knife. That is a perfect size straight knife. Sharp as a razor too. Where to beat them old rats. Sure make the shavings fly with that thing. A scout carry sheath to go with it. Nice little system there. Just sitting here thinking it'd be nice to build a little fire, but as windy as it is and as dry as the leaves are, I'm a little bit leery of it. But while I'm thinking about it, with this pack off, I'll show you something. You know, you get a lot of treasures when you hang out with all the Bushcraft guys and all that. And one of the treasures I got, many of you guys know James from up in Ohio, old school with a modern twist. Some of you may have seen this, some of you may not have, but James made me this pouch. I don't know if you can see it or not, but he embossed my name on it, my channel name. Was talking about building a fire. Like I said, I'm not going to try to build one today, it's just too windy, but this has made an ideal Tender pouch. I love it for that. But old James hooked me up with that, that's for sure, and I thank him to this day for it too. Just like I do everything that's been given to me over the years.